Five.
Another first in this WrestleMania of firsts. As a matter of fact, this is the first time these two men are meeting for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental title. Champion Roddy Piper. Yeah! His opponent, a former IC champion himself, number one contender, Bret the Hitman Hart. Gentlemen, we have arrived.
We have arrived. I gotta say, first of all, man, I gotta tell you how much I loves your family. I gotta tell you how much I loves your mom. I know this guy since he's been knee-high to a grasshopper. I remember when they were changing your potty pants. I remember even when, of course, you weren't potty trained till he was 7, but everybody's got their problem. Remember tying bows in our shoes when we were kids? Of course, your shoes were always tied together. Doesn't matter to me, because I remember when Mrs. Hart used to come down that, she used to make them sandwiches, man, throw on that bologna. Of course, only one piece of bologna, but that don't matter. I was hungry. Then she'd come up and she'd go to her little... What is this?
Yourself.
This is nice, huh? Here I am having a little fun trying to make you at ease. Gonna have a nice to keep them to yourself. Have a nice contest, and here you want to be a hero all of a sudden, huh? You want to be a hot shot all of a sudden. You want your belt all of a sudden. Is that the idea, huh?
Look, all I care about is one thing. I want to win back the Intercontinental belt. You got it. I'm gonna take it.
You keep your hands to yourself. Let me help you out a little bit, buddy. We can settle arguing. Oh, yeah, you damn betcha we can. Why do it here when I can have 1 million people watch me rip your head off?
Would have had you.
No, you wouldn't have.
Oh, thank you, gentlemen.
Bye-bye.
Bret Hart on his way to the ring.
Bye.
This should be a classic, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
don't think so.
Roddy Piper defending
Not
against
today.
the challenger. Let's get back to ringside.
She be mine.
This is the crock rockin', nickelback poppin', curls for all the girls, the Perminator, Sam Beal. And I am on the Sit Down Marks podcast, and we're going to get some perfection today, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following Sit Down Marks podcast is set for one fall. Introducing first, your heel host that is always helping to spread the good word of wrestling, Dirty Bird. Next up, the co-host from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme, editor and producer, Primo. And finally, your co-host, straight out of your mama's kitchen, driver of the grip wagon, straight off a cliff, assistant editor and producer, AJ.
Episode number 75 of the Sit Down Marks podcast. Welcome, people. Come on in, sit down. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's a lot of things going on in wrestling right now. I want to say thank you to TW Ward, the voice of Memphis Wrestling, bringing us in there each and every week.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the pod, boys. My co-host, formerly the waitress crippler. Now the waitress clipper.
Like a boat?
Welcome, AJ. What's going on, pal?
Hello. I am excited about today's show for various reasons. I'll leave it at that.
Let's keep it rolling. Also, your 3-time Kurt Angle champion, Lucha Daddy, Primo. We'll see if he held on to the trophy here a little bit later. How you doing, pal?
Pretty good, guys. I have quite a confession.
Go on.
Breaking.
Please do.
I think I like Logan Paul.
Ooh.
I'm going to go ahead and mute you on my screen now. Turn you way the fuck down.
Right,
I'm just kidding. Of course,
we'll just keep that between us.
I'm just kidding. No,
he might be saying something right now. I have no idea.
I do like his performance, though, that he gave at SummerSlam. It was pretty awesome.
Sorry, what was that? That's what I thought.
I'm sorry. You were saying something?
You're speaking? No? Okay. Yeah.
Want to thank everybody listening right now on all those podcast platforms out there, including Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, all those things, and also SportsWire Online Radio Friday nights, right before the Thomas Bryce Show. You know what it is, and throughout the week. If you like the pod, leave us a review, man. We really would appreciate it, and it goes a long way and helps us out here. We were just talking pre-pod here for a second. We're creeping towards that episode 100 here. We're only 25 away, which is a third of the pods that we already did. So, it's not like it's just around the corner.
But first 25 don't count.
Now.
Huh?
First 25 don't count.
First 25 don't count. This is true. That's true. Says the podcast biz. Apparently. That's the word. That's the word. And they say that you don't really get your footing until after 25 podcasts, or you're not really
Is that what they said?
I feel see one.
I don't know. It's just what I read. I feel like it would have been like after
my reading
52, because that was our year. Mark.
Yeah, true.
We're still waiting at episode 75, apparently.
We're still waiting on that trophy to become official.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll see. But thank everybody for listening to all those podcast platforms out there. Oh, Jukity Box, episode number 75. Let's see what you got for us today.
Jukity Box, baby.
All rise for the kings of the Black Throne.
Kind of sounds like Halo.
It does.
This guy's getting kind of hot right now. Brody King, man. He's all over AEW main events and stuff here lately. He's kind of stepping to the forefront here as kind of a main event guy for sure.
I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands, by the way.
I'm like
Doesn't
ready to join the cult
in
now.
sign language?
It means more.
Means more.
Yeah, sign language. Yeah. I don't know why. Anyways, I love that song, Brody King. Halo.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. When Jukity Box first, I learned that Jukity Box was going to play that. That's what I thought it sounded like at the beginning. There was Halo.
Yeah,
I want
that's
to play
it.
Halo.
I never thought about that too, but you're exactly right. It definitely does that little, yeah. Primo, what's going on in the headlines, man? Have we settled down here in WWE or what we got?
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
We got. Oh, here's one for you. On today, which is by the way, happy August, everybody. So August 3rd, 2022. Unfortunately, it's no longer the best month of the year. It's okay. So, moving on. Today in the headlines. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hackney saw.
Once again.
Hackety saw.
Cancer free.
Tough guy. Did you see the picture of him ringing the bell?
Yes.
Oh, I loved it so much.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
That is cool.
Makes my heart full.
I love that. From the AEW press release today, AEW has announced an expansion of talent relations and development team. Roles for Sanjay Dutt, QT Marshall, Pat Buck, and Tony Schiavone will increase under expanded talent relations team. And Madison Rayne is joining to coach the women's division.
Madison Rayne, okay.
Yeah, former TNA knockout.
Yeah.
AEW, speaking of AEW, AEW's Fight Forever video game has officially dropped their first teaser trailer. And also, confirmed along with that, it will be coming to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox, PC, and Nintendo Switch.
Have you pre-ordered it?
No, I have not.
Me neither, but I'm planning on it.
It's going to be the first video game I've bought in a long time.
I have not pre-ordered it, but
I'm going to. I haven't yet, but just in case there's any like sweet goodies that come with the pre-order.
Just because it's different, a different
it looked
wrestling
pretty cool.
game. Yeah.
They actually look. They have mini games in it, and that looks fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
And also in the teaser trailer, I'm not going to give you too much away because those of you out there, you'll need to go watch it. But basically, they have Britt Baker fighting Adam Cole in the ring, so I guess you can do intergender, number one. Yeah. Also, they show some of the mini games, and they look fun. So, yeah.
In a who's going to do the dishes match, Adam Cole versus Britt Baker.
Right? And
it's going to be Adam Cole. He's going to lose that match.
Baby. Lastly,
Lashley?
Shawn Spears.
Lashley.
Yeah, it's a good story here, man. Love it. Bring it. It's good stuff.
That's the almighty to both of you.
It is.
Shawn Spears and Cassie Lee are expecting a baby.
Baby. You know, they should go to public.com and get some of baby clothes.
That boy gonna get some baby clothes. And, hey, brings new meaning to the chairman cometh.
Yeah. It's like blarney. Please don't ever whisper the word cometh again.
Especially not to mayors like that. I just died.
How many pounds is the baby going to weigh? 10.
Just combining all the gimmicks.
Yep, love it, man. Love it. Yeah, man, I was happy to see this. It was cool seeing it break on social media today. And I was talking Primo too, man. I've been meaning to talk about it. We haven't seen Shawn in a while, so
he's
been
getting busy.
This stuff, dropping them bombs. Dropping them bombs.
Been wearing them business socks.
Cameron's been busy.
Handling the business, baby. Handling all
having a good old fashioned alpha,
if you will.
That's right.
And that is headlines, August 3rd, 2022, baby.
Thank you very much, sir. All right. If you listen to the podcast, we will shout you out. All you got to do is hit us up on one of our social medias. We are on Twitter, Facebook. Check us out, Instagram, all those. If you want to shout out, just let us know when and where you listen to the pod, and we will shout you out. AJ, what you got for us today here, sir?
Wait, really? Oh, thank fucking Jeebus! AJ's movie of the week.
What was that squirrel at the end? What was that?
What the fuck is that?
Oh, I love it.
Oh my god. Why is that?
Oh my god. Seriously? We got a movie? Like, didn't we are we circling back here?
We are. Right. I wait, do that little thing again.
Remember.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I love it.
Sounds like Adam Cole if he got hit in the nuts.
Oh, that's a...
Oh my god. What just happened?
I don't know.
We still have a podcast to do.
All right.
Oh my god.
All right. So as we were for that little squirrel where it was set us off.
Oh my god, that was amazing. So I have a movie. I watched a movie this week. It was unintentional. I wasn't going to. I watched a movie called Repossessed. I don't know if you guys have heard of it before.
Like a Repo Man?
No, it's a spoof of The Exorcist. It stars Linda Blair, who was in The Exorcist. And it stars Leslie Nielsen as Father May-I, who was charged with performing an exorcism on Linda Blair. So the movie is, it builds up to the exorcism, and they make the exorcism like a wrestling match. Like they have, like at the end, like it's on a stage, and they have it like a wrestling match. And doing commentary on this exorcism in this movie are Jesse the Body Ventura and Mean Gene Okerlund are doing commentary on the exorcism that's happened. And I looked far and wide for some sort of clip that would have all their interactions on it. I couldn't find it. However, a couple of their fantastic lines. At one point, Linda Blair turns into an ice cream cone because she's the devil. She can do that. You know the whole lick me scene in Exorcist? Oh, yeah. Well, she's an ice cream cone in saying that. And Jesse Ventura goes, "That's the old conalingus move." Get it? Because conalingus, but she was an ice cream cone, so licking, like it works on many levels. And then, so then at one point, during this main event of the exorcism, Linda Blair, playing the devil, turns Father May-I into Rambo. And Rambo, like he turns into Rambo. And she's like, who needs... Stallone? Yes, only he's still Leslie Nielsen. But he is all beefy and stuff. And Linda Blair's like, who needs steroids? And then it cuts to Mean Gene Okerlund and Jesse Ventura. Jesse Ventura's going like this with his muscles. And Mean Gene Okerlund goes, Jesse, steroids aren't used in wrestling anymore. And Jesse Ventura goes, or any less, while he's flexing his muscles. So for 15 minutes, it's just these two doing commentary on. At one point, Leslie Nielsen starts yelling at Mean Gene Okerlund and Jesse Ventura because they're bickering with each other. It's amazing. The movie is stupid and it's funny, but it's worth it for the last 15 minutes with Jesse. Jesse Ventura is one of the funniest people ever, and. Is that a ghost? Is that what that was?
No. Carry on.
Watch the movie. It's fantastic, and watch it. Even if you can't find the movie because it's kind of hard to find, watch it. Find some sort of clip of the last 15 minutes, and just watch the exorcism for Jesse Ventura and Mean Gene Okerlund saying steroids aren't used any less in wrestling. It's fantastic.
I'm about to check that out. I don't even know, but I've even heard of that one before.
That's the cunnilingus move.
The cunnilingus move. All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm the Dirty Bird. It's time to talk about what we're going to talk about. SummerSlam has come and gone, people, but we're going to bring you all the results, reactions, including who won the Kurt Angle trophy in our usual Big Four pay-per-view picks that are coming up. Did Primo retain? Did AJ or myself win it for the second time? Well, we're going to find out shortly. And also this month, we're about to begin AJ's picks of his favorite Intercontinental title matches. And we're starting off with a banger, man. I love this match. It was Bret Hart versus Roddy Piper from WrestleMania 8, which is what we're going to be reviewing here very shortly here to kick off the month. And lastly, the AEW, NWA Impact Important Happenings. We will all talk about that. And I'm going to try my best to dethrone AJ in Last Man Standing. It's going to be a fun one here. All right, Primo, if you're ready, man, let's go, Daddy. Lucha Daddy.
Lucha Daddy, baby.
This is Levi Cooper.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins.
This is Big Beef.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw. And you're listening.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
All right. All right, just let you guys know, man, August the 20th, the Sit Down Marks are helping to sponsor Dreamwave Wrestling's return. We got a big episode planned next week just for, that's dedicated just to Dreamwave Wrestling. So we'll be talking about that coming up here in just a little bit. And then also, if you're going to be in the area of Normal, Illinois, August 27th, they have a big a festival, what they call the Sweet Corn Circus. There's estimated to be roughly 5,000 people there. It's a big, huge kind of end of summer type festival, and Iron Spirit Pro and us are going to be there at 1 o'clock local time. We got 4 awesome matches planned for the Sweet Corn Circus, absolutely free of charge. So it ain't gonna cost you no money. All you gotta do is just show up and watch 4 awesome matches. Check us out, and we're gonna give you some free stuff just for showing up to see us. So that's what we got coming up here. So we'll be talking more about that later. All right, let's get to the recap, guys. I'm gonna talk about a lot of WWE, so I'm gonna kick it off here first, but let's get to these Kurt Angle trophy results first before we get started, so we can kind of talk about why and who we picked, for these for the SummerSlam picks. So coming into today, if you're just tuning in or you're a new listener, the Kurt Angle trophy is our championship, so to speak. Him and the Junkyard Dog are the two patron saints around here, the ones that we covet and protect at all costs. So there'll be no Junkyard Dog or Kurt Angle slander as long as we're around. But that is the Kurt Angle trophy. I won it before. AJ's won it before. Primo is the standing, reigning, defending 3-time champion. And it was Big Four time. Big Four pay-per-view time. So SummerSlam was up. We had to pick from 8 matches, and we had a tiebreaker match, which was the time of the tiebreaker, which was the time of the Usos and Profits match, which I ended up with like 13 minutes, 23 seconds. I don't know if any of you guys get it, or I didn't look what the official time was, but it was something like that.
Over. Official time was like 14:40 or something.
It was,
like that.
yeah, and my time was like 16:45.
Oh, I must have been way off. All right, but I did watch the replay on that one, so they might have chopped something out or something. You never know. But anyway, all right, so let's get to these results. We had 8 matches. Coming in third, your boy, with a stinky mess of 5-3. I got Roman, Liv, Lashley, and Logan right. Well, I was 4. Shoot. Anyway, so I keep messing up. Judgment Day and Mysterio's won the match, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I was a hot 4-4 mess. That's what I was. Yeah. So no trophy for me this time. I stunk it up. I took Becky, I took Corbin, I took the Profits, and I took Judgment Day. So all those were the death of me. So, all right, so let's get to the winner here. It's either going to be Primo or AJ. Out of 8 picks, drum roll, please. Coming up with a record of 7-1. Your winner. And no! Kurt Angle champion, the Shinsuke Nakamura loving man himself. Let him have his time, ladies and gentlemen. The two-time Kurt Angle trophy champion, AJ, everyone.
Well, I would do the...
Congrats, AJ.
Woo! Good job, buddy.
We have another multi-time champion in the bunch.
We do.
Sweet Kurt coming back home where he belongs.
Primo was runner-up. He finished with a record of 5-3. So still very respectable. He lost Judgment Day as well. He lost, which we all did, and he lost Corbin and the Profits. So AJ is the new champion. Kurt Angle's going to be on his way, so I will take Kurt from the screen from you. Primo, you want to say goodbye? He's moving downtown. On screen. He gets the old trophy back, so.
I'm waiting for it.
Be there soon, AJ.
So nice job, AJ. So you'll officially hold the trophy until Survivor Series, or should you choose to put it up ahead of time? Totally your choice, but
I have plans.
But good job, man.
I plan to be a fighting champion.
I mean, you were 7-1, man. That's a pretty good record there, man. So pretty good booking.
Look at that little Kurt right there. Look at him go.
He just showed up, didn't he? Yeah, he did. There he is. All right, let's get to it, boys. Let's move on here. How about WWE SmackDown? This was the Go Home SmackDown.
Smacking it down.
Theory's hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, home of my beloved Falcons.
A-Town.
The shitty Dirty Birds. Yeah, A-Town down. Yeah, we're down because we always lose at everything.
You won the World Series last year.
We did. Yeah, so... but I'm mainly talking about my Falcons because
they suck.
The way it is. Yeah, they do suck. So Go Home SmackDown. Theory spoils McIntyre versus Sheamus match in his hometown, which I didn't care. Kind of over watching these two guys fight already a little bit. So basically talks up the cash in, says he's going to do it at SummerSlam, whatever it takes. Yada yada. That's how we kind of kicked off the show. Next up was some kind of stuff to just kind of set up matches. We had Liv and Ronda, who were facing each other at SummerSlam on the same side as a team, but they beat Natty and Sonya in a match that took up what felt like a lot of SmackDown. Like it felt like it was at least 40 minutes, but it was probably 30. But Usos and the Profits face off for their big match with Double J standing there. Obviously, they're going to mix it up here to, kind of put a little heat on the match. Jay super kicks Double J, Jeff Jarrett, that is, by accident, and the Profits run the Usos off to, kind of put, like I said, some more steam on their match. More Raiders, Viking Raiders, New Day, yada, yada. So we get to the main event, though. And, this is Friday before Saturday SummerSlam. So we go home with Paul's in the ring talking, about everything's kind of happening on Saturday. And then Brock interrupts him. And he acts like he's going to hurt Heyman. And then Theory comes out, hits Brock with a briefcase. Brock then basically takes him to Suplex City, and he retreats. And then Drew McIntyre clubs Theory on his way out as revenge from earlier in the night when Theory got involved in his match. And then we see Brock and Drew kind of staring each other down, which, kind of puts a small little hint of this could be possible main event at the Clash at the Castle. Is that why they're looking at each other? Yada, yada. Obviously knowing what we know now. But at this point, they just kind of dropped that little seed in there, really, because I thought it was kind of smart on WWE's part here. Kind of, like, oh, maybe Brock does have a shot.
I text y'all that.
Yeah. So that was all right. So let's get to SummerSlam, man. SummerSlam was Saturday night, Nashville, Tennessee, the Tennessee Titans Stadium. This was an outdoor stadium. Quick here, like, I didn't really it's hard for me to kind of get into wrestling, when it's like broad daylight outside, kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, really?
Yeah. Like, when they're wrestling in daytime, like, I was waiting for the nighttime to kind of settle in, but it just doesn't feel, I don't know. Like Becky and Bianca came out, in the beginning, it was like kind of still broad daylight, and, unless
I love the stadium shows.
I don't
I love where it starts day and then it transitions to night later on in the show. I love that. I love outdoor shows.
I prefer the
domed events,
but I will say, like, some of their coolest video like production that they've done has been able to like capture the fireworks in the background.
Sure.
Like, since it's open, for instance, like when Sasha Banks will do her entrance, when she goes in front of the ropes, you can see the fireworks behind her. That's always really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the daytime, nighttime, it didn't really bother me because I guess the other events like that, they really stick out in my mind. Like, they make me remember them more.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're so few and far between.
Yeah.
But I do, just personally, I'd rather be at a dome.
Oh, yeah.
I love outside shows.
I think being at it might not be so bad, but, like, I don't know. Me and my wife went to a concert one time in Atlanta at the Dome, and half of it was still kind of like in daylight on the inside. It was just kind of weird. Like, it felt like we were like they turned the lights on us or something. But anyway, so let's kick it off here. SummerSlam first match: Becky versus Bianca for the Raw Women's title. Bianca retains. I kind of felt like Becky maybe wasn't really into it kind of in the beginning, but she kind of really got into it a little more later. Clean win, cool Spanish fly, I thought, which ended up to the KOD for the win for Bianca. I thought Becky would win here just because I thought it was time for another title run and they could let Bianca chase for a while, or, maybe they had other plans. I thought, we didn't see Charlotte at all during this pay-per-view. We've seen others, but we didn't see her. So, and then we find out Becky separated her shoulder, so she's going to be out for a little while. But what y'all think about this match?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could see in the match, like, at certain points, like, her shoulder was just jacked up. Yeah. And then
she's in a lot of pain.
I was quite pleased with the face turn at the end. And obviously the appearance of
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah, I'm not getting there. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm not talking about them. I'm just saying.
Okay.
But that was part of the something I was happy about too.
Sure.
But the match itself, yes, that Smash Fly was sick.
Yeah.
Into the KOD right after that, right? And then
yeah, clean pin. So
yep.
Yeah.
So I thought I did not go into SummerSlam with high hopes. Didn't. But then this first match, I was like, all right. I'm on board slightly, hesitantly. Yeah. And then the Becky face turn, I thought was fantastic.
Yep.
I much preferred that happening because that gives Becky a whole new storyline as opposed to having the belt again.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, this is awesome. I'm on board with this. I still don't like Bianca Belair. I just don't. She bores me and she's bad at promos. So she is very good in the ring though.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised and more excited about SummerSlam after watching this match.
So post-match, what we're all talking about here, Bianca and Becky shook hands. And then we have, as Bianca's kind of celebrating, we have the return of Bayley. Bayley's music hits. She comes out, and then she brings out two others with her, Dakota Kai right after that, and then what formerly known as Io Shirai. Now they're calling her Io Sky. And they step up to Bianca as if to attack her, and then Becky stands up by her side, and Bayley, Kai, and Shirai are on. Looks like they're going to be on Raw now. So, what do you guys think? Well, I mean, obviously, you guys are pumped about this Becky face turn, but you guys finally got Bayley back.
Yes, I popped like a fucking nerd when Bayley came out. I was like, fucking you.
Well, a couple things. Not only did I not. Well, okay. We talked about it last week. We did expect Bayley to come back, but I thought she'd come back on the SmackDown side. She left on SmackDown side as SmackDown champ. So and then to come back with a little faction.
Mm-hmm.
And a returning Dakota Kai. And then Io Shirai, who the only one in the building who knew her name was Io Sky was Corey Graves.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even he called her Io Shirai at first.
Right.
Sure.
But no, that was so cool. I was down for it.
I especially loved when they got in the ring to confront Bianca, and then all of a sudden there's Becky. Just by Bianca's side. I was like, yep, I'm sold.
There is only one small tiny thing. I just don't like Bayley's new pocket pants.
Yeah, I noticed that too. That's kind of bothered me.
She stole them. She stole them from Braun Strowman or something. I thought Bayley looked great though, but she
looks fantastic.
I think Bayley's fucking
the pocket
gorgeous.
pants are kind of interesting. They look like snowboard pants with lots of pockets on them.
Yeah, but this was a good opener. We got a return, so that shot adrenaline in everybody. So you're pumped up here. Open. Right? Yeah, a nice opener. Yeah, nice job there. So moving on, next match was Logan Paul versus The Miz. Logan wins by using the skull crushing finale, which is The Miz's finisher. AJ Styles helped out when Tommaso Ciampa would not leave ringside. You guys think about this, man? I mean, Logan's pretty good in the ring. Don't deny that. I think I'm just annoyed by everything else.
That's what I was getting to at the beginning there of the show, AJ.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of his in-ring work. You can tell he's clearly putting in the work, and that frog splash to the table was pretty cool.
So. I mean, we have to be honest here. We have to be impartial. I mean, we don't have to, but I'm going to be. So, formerly Bad Bunny was probably the best celebrity turn. Logan Paul blew him out of the water. I fucking hate Logan Paul. His shots were stiff as fuck to The Miz. Did you see that? If I were The Miz, I would. But Logan Paul realistically would have beat the shit out of Miz in like real life because Logan Paul's a boxer.
Yes,
but yeah, Logan. It was very impressive.
Honestly, Miz probably told him to bring it.
Yeah, and he did.
Yeah.
And
another thing too is Miz has been in Logan's position before, so I think Miz was the perfect opponent for him.
Exactly. I agree.
But I don't think The Miz was ever as universally hated as Logan Paul was.
No, but the reality stuff and all that.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I like don't get me wrong, I fucking hated this match. Just because it's Logan Paul, but he's fantastic. He looked like $1 million.
Once again, I was surprised that I liked it. Just like his WrestleMania match.
Yeah. He did a great job. He really
right when the match started too, I don't know if y'all seen this, but it went to go he was all jacked up and he went to go jump up on the ropes and he missed the rope and
he missed.
But he played it off really well. I'm like, he just needs to take a breath, calm down. Yeah.
He's excited.
Yeah. I mean, of course.
I hated that he did such a good job. I did. But he did. He was fantastic.
Yeah. Next up was A-Town Down Theory versus Lashley for the U.S. title. Lashley retains by Hurt Lock. Expected.
Yep. And I
liked how they finished that. Too.
Yep, me too. Definitive win for Lashley.
Yeah.
Austin Theory got jobbed out, which I have a lot to say about him that I'm pretty excited about. But it was fine. It was great.
Next up was the Mysterios and Judgment Day. The Mysterios win after another return. Our boy Edge returns and with a little assist with a couple spears. Man, I thought Edge looked great, man. Don't grow your hair out. Stay where you're at with this. Like it looks more like he's put on a little bit more weight, so he's filled out a little more. I think I'm gonna like this Edge now that he's come back to like the rated R superstar gimmick.
So, a couple things. I did want like a Mysterio heel turn. Also, I am a big fan of Edge's awesome new shirt. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it does.
The red jacket's nice too. His haircut's cool. But altogether, I'm not so much. You can't sell me on all those vignettes they've been playing, right? And then line them with a babyface tag team like that, and and then tell me he's gonna be sadistic and destroy them. Even though we know Edge, we know that's what he can do. But it's like, kind of contradicting, contradicting the story a little bit, and which, and I just didn't care for that finish a whole lot.
The actual match made me sad because again, I'm such a Finn Balor mark, and which I am excited about him going forward. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, Judgment Day is a bad. I think I texted you guys and I was like, Judgment Day is a bad faction. They're just bad. It's a bad faction. With Edge leading it, it was a little cooler, but now it just doesn't make any sense. Edge's actual return, like his entrance, was cool as shit. Apart from that, I was like, okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah, I thought he looked good. I mean, he's going to have to tweak that character a little bit because he kind of can't, be, long hair, that old, Edge has got to kind of, morph it, into something a little. So, it looks like he might be leaning a little more towards like a biker gimmick,
Yeah,
kind of,
it kind of looked like that.
A little, maybe.
One cool little like touch that they put on it that Rey Mysterio actually put on it. When they were doing the stare down at the end, Rey Mysterio kept kind of like glancing back at Edge, like should we be standing next to this guy right now? Like, is this my friend Edge or is this,
sure, yeah,
crazy guy?
Yeah. So we got Edge back, so we'll see how that happens. We'll talk about it more on Raw coming up. Next up was Pat McAfee versus Corbin. I hated this entrance. It was awful. I don't even know who these dudes were. These choir that was singing, like, I don't know. It was just made for bad.
Thomas Corbin.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. Just didn't flow very well. And then I guess Pat had to ditch the White Stripes song because he's got a new entrance song. And I don't think it's that good either. But anyway, besides that, Pat won. So he's like Mr. Pay-per-view all of a sudden. So, yeah, you guys got anything on that match?
It was botchy.
Yeah, it was botchy.
It was very botchy.
I was surprised he pulled off that what do you call that? What's he calling it? Bambini Swantoni or whatever?
Yeah, Bambini Swanton or something. Swanton
I was
Bambini.
because he talked about it later that one thing he didn't, and this is just probably from lack of experience with the business or whatever, but he didn't account for the humidity and all that from being an outside show and the ropes being slippery. Sure. He hadn't used that footwear with those ropes being slippery. But it was pretty. I was happy he caught himself. He started to wobble. That would have been bad for both, not only the match but him. I was afraid to get hurt. But honestly, I could tell that Pat was blown up pretty early in, and I love Pat to death. I would have been blown up on my entrance. So,
yeah, right. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, it was not as good as the WrestleMania match. I'll say that.
No.
Right.
Corbin. I like Corbin. God, I wish he had a better gimmick. Pat McAfee botched his way through the match, which is fine. Like you just explained why. And yeah, got the Swanton Bambini, which is stupidly named, but whatever. It was there. Again, is the matches. I was like, right.
He said he put too much Italian on it.
yeah. The choir at the beginning confused the fuck out of me. I was like, are those just random guys wearing robes? Like who?
Like what are those guys doing up there in the top section?
Yeah. Oh, why are they all dressed the same?
It was an awful idea.
I thought at first they were singing the White Stripes song. Like I thought that they were chanting it, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't know what they're doing. Whatever.
All right, next match was the Usos versus the Street Profits for all the tag team titles, with Double J as the referee. As expected, the Usos retain, as JJ wasn't really too much of a factor inside the match. They both did their finishers, a lot of splashes and that stuff. Good match. Not the best match I've seen between these guys, but, it was still really, really good match. And what'd you guys think about this one, man?
We've all been talking about Montez doing a solo act, but I wanted to see the Profits have a title run first.
Me too.
And so I was not happy that they lost.
I don't. I mean, I wouldn't care if they had one, but I don't think it's necessary.
I don't either.
I mean, I just think they're such a good tag team.
Yeah.
It's a waste to not have like a good solid run.
Sure.
So I thought, one, Double J did not need to be there, like at all. They could have had a normal ref and it would have changed absolutely nothing.
I agree with that.
And this match didn't steal the show like I thought it would. Again, I was just like, all right.
I agree with that.
Decent enough, but moving on.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it like I said, it was still a good tag team match. Not the best I've seen between these guys,
but it was fine.
Yeah.
I was entertained.
Next up, we got Riddle, who jumps in. Looks like he kind of runs in the ring from the crowd. Grabs a mic, calls out Seth Rollins.
What up, bro?
And then Seth comes out. This is great. Seth comes out, right, and and security's out there. They're trying to like push him away, and he's waiting for his music to go, burn it down, and then he all of a sudden just breaks loose and starts running towards the. I'm like, oh, that is like awesomely funny and playing at the same time. It's great, So anyway, hits the ring, basically beats up Riddle again, curb stomps him after they brawl, and he leaves as he's. Laughing like he does, which is just great. But I kind of thought we might see a impromptu, like, I don't know. I thought we were going to get some kind of return here or a surprise or something. I thought when Seth came out and done this, like we were going to get like Cody, or like something.
Just
you know what I mean? Like anything.
Someone.
Yeah. This was kind of a little bit of a setup here. But shit on me. It wasn't. It was it was what it was. It kept the storyline going, I guess. It got Seth on SummerSlam.
I call it a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely.
I didn't understand it. I compared this, like in my notes, I was like, this is the same as Double J being in the tag team match. Sure.
Yeah,
what's the point?
It was a period of time. Yeah.
Seth already beat Riddle up and curb stomped him to get him off TV or whatever. And they just did it again. And that was it.
Yeah.
My reaction once again was, sure.
I mean, they missed a hell of a spot here, man. They could have reunited the Shield here. I mean, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but
they could have done this. They could have done anything.
Okay.
Like anything would have been better than the nothing that they did.
Just a little side note, I did see somewhere he did an interview, and Seth did, and he was like, if you ever see the Shield together, it will probably be the Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Never say never.
And that's true. You can never say never in the wrestling.
Yep. All right, next match was the co-main right before. We got Liv versus Ronda for the SmackDown Women's title. Liv wins as the ref counted Ronda's shoulders down as she had Liv in an arm bar, but the ref counted 1, 2, 3 because Liv was standing up on the arm bar and simultaneously as Liv was tapping out, but the referee didn't see that because referee was looking at the shoulders. So we had a little schmozzy ending. Ref didn't see it, so Ronda was pissed. Liv retained. Post match, little or what is it? Liv is like the only what they say, the only women's wrestler to have 2 wins over Ronda.
Yeah, and one of 3 to pin Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. So Liv retained. What'd you guys think? I mean, we all picked Liv, so
they had to do it somehow. So
yeah,
sure.
And it worked. And this is the glaring problem that it presented with Liv, though, is she's no match for Ronda Rousey. Like in a kayfabe sense, there's no way your WWE Women's Champion would actually beat Ronda Rousey in the ring.
Right.
And that was very apparent. So I think this was the best finish because obviously they're not. I mean, we all picked Liv. Like they're not going to take the belt off her, but this is the only way that they could have.
Right.
And then the Ronda heel turn at the end, I think was justified, and I liked it. Ronda is not a good babyface, so make her a heel, send her away.
I think she's wanted to be a heel since she returned.
This is where I thought we'd see Charlotte.
Yeah, see, I did too. And then I wasn't disappointed when we didn't see her, though, but I was just like, all right, no Charlotte.
I'm not either. I'm just a Charlotte mark, so I'm just expecting it at some point. So
yeah.
All right, let's get to the main event, boys. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, 10,246 match. They wrestled each other. Roman comes out first. Why?
Yeah, I had the same reaction.
To be acknowledged. I guess they want to get that segment in, but I'm like, man, this is SummerSlam, dude. Let's camp out last.
Come out last.
But he wants to get acknowledged by Nashville, and then Brock music hits. He comes down, turns around, goes and jumps up on a tractor with a front end loader. Front end loader to the ring, which he uses later. And so they brawl as usual. Brock uses the tractor to dump Roman out of the onto the front loader to dump Roman out, as you know, we knew that would end up being used in the match. But what we really end up using the match for, the tractor, was Brock. He lifted up one end of the ring with the tractor. Now, at this same time, like right after this, Roman's in and he kind of, kicks up one corner of the ring. Roman rolls out, and as you think this match is like about to be over, no, they keep going for quite a while. The Usos show up, right? Brock F5s Heyman through a table. And then Theory comes out during the whole schmozzy smoz, and he gets an F5, so he didn't actually get the cash in to happen. But Roman gets the upper hand with a few spears, a couple title shots to the head, and then with the help of the Usos, they stack parts of the tables, steps, all kind of rubble, wreckage on top of Brock, so he can't get on, to keep him down for the last man standing match. The referee counts to 10. Roman retains. Michael Cole says this is the greatest last man standing match ever. And he also said goddamn by accident.
I don't think it was an accident.
No, he's Michael. He's doing what the fuck he wants now.
Yeah, he's no Vincent is there now. He's doing what he wants.
He's got the loose. So that's what I was about to say. Is like, is this going to be new Michael here? He's going to drop some bombs.
I love new Michael. That's one thing about SummerSlam. To take notice of is Michael Cole was great, and he even said at one point, like in the Corbin McAfee match, he was talking about. He's like, I'm usually supposed to be unbiased, but right now I am going to be biased, and starts talking. But anyway, back to the match. This match, last man standing match. I came into this match. We all did, really. But came into this match being like, oh, here comes another one, whatever. But
it was entertaining.
I was thoroughly entertained. I gotta say, but one thing with that front end loader, I was terrified for like the first part of the match because they the way Brock parked it.
Brock Lesnar.
He put the bucket like at eye level right there in the ring. I was so scared they were gonna like whip into it.
Yeah.
On accident. And I was just like, can you just please back that up? Just like,
just a little bit.
Yeah. But other than that, no, I was like, man, you never seen that before. No, I like that. Okay, so I liked it. I came away entertained, and hopefully it is the last time we ever see them face off. But cool.
How dare you not mention the appearance of Drew McIntyre when he came out with his sword and was like,
with the Angel.
laddie.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, tonight's attendance, laddie, is 50 million. Oh, laddie.
Yeah, because that was necessary.
Well, he did say something though that was it felt like a little jab at Vince. I can't remember what it was.
Kane was the one that did the attendance.
Oh yeah, okay.
48,450.
What did Drew McIntyre say?
I don't remember anymore, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh no, when he was like, for the first time ever, we have Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar in the main event. Well, for the first time in this stadium. Well, for the first time in a last man standing match in this stadium. Like he kept adding things.
Right, yeah, because it's happened before.
Yeah,
right.
I thought that was funny. But the actual match, yeah, I dug it. I did.
I would have been pissed if I was sitting behind that part where the ring
was
was
where
up. You wouldn't have been seen much because they were working
so much money to sit right there.
Yes, they were working on the other side.
So I think that when Theory came out, I think this was an effective burial of Theory because he looked like a fucking child next to these main eventers. There was it's the same problem you have with Liv, although they can mask it with Liv. There's no fucking way that Theory can you imagine him feuding with actually like in a ring with Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar or fucking AJ Styles or or Drew McIntyre? Any main eventer, Theory just does not fit in. It's ridiculous. So I think they're like, all right, we're going to make you look like a jobber and you're eventually going to lose the briefcase on your cash in because you're a Vince guy and Vince is gone. So he did. He looked like they just swatted him away like he was a fly, which was great because I hate Theory. Wait, you want to see my Theory impression? That's the face. I fucking hate his face. But yeah, the match was fun. It was great, and it might be my favorite match between those two out of 550 of them.
They definitely made up for it.
Yeah, if they're done, it's a good ending.
Yeah.
Good spot. Although they did, Brock is announced for Day 1 pay-per-view in Atlanta. They announced that today.
I did not see that.
On the front of that.
Oh, they're doing another Day 1, huh?
Another Day 1, January 1st. Yep.
Day 1 part 2.
Day
1.
Day 1. Yeah.
So that was SummerSlam, boys. Let's smelly mark it, man. What'd you guys think, man? Smelly marks 1 out of 10.
I actually thought about this the next day after I watched it. So originally, last week I had said my excitement smelly mark rating was originally a 6.
Yeah.
But after actually watching it and what they gave us with the Bayley return, the Bayley faction, the Becky face turn, the slew of matches that were actually pretty good, and the main event that turned out to be entertaining, that bumped me up to a solid 8 for this summer. It was a nice SummerSlam.
Interesting.
AJ?
So my excitement going in, I think I gave it like a 2. I was not excited at all.
Yeah.
And for all the reasons you mentioned, plus Michael Cole. Michael Cole was fantastic throughout the night, which is weird, and it makes me sad that we could have had this Michael Cole for the last 25 years or whatever. But the Triple H era was very apparent. Like the start, this is like the official start of it. And while the individual matches were, like, I was like, meh for a lot of them. So you think I'd give it like a 5? No, I'm going to go 7.5 for this SummerSlam. I was thoroughly entertained. And even though I was like, meh for a lot of the matches, I didn't care. I had so much fun.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, I had fun watching it. I thought I had a little bit of everything, some bayface wins, some heel wins, some returns. It was decent stuff there. They totally dropped the ball with Riddle and Rollins. I don't know, I mean,
sure.
But it was kind of wild, and Corbin and Pat I thought was a little bit of a stinker. The finish was fun to watch. But, yeah, I'm right there too. I think my excitement was like a 6. I'm going 7.5 too. It was definitely worth watching. I don't know that I'd go back and watch any match over on this card.
I did.
Maybe Bianca Becky.
It's literally the one I went back
and watched. I was like, so, but
I mean, even at a 7.5, it was still the best WWE pay-per-view that's happened in a long time.
Yeah, it's good.
Which was very encouraging.
It was good. All right, so let's move on, boys. Monday Night Raw was still in Texas, but we are in Houston now. Becky comes out to start off the show, says she's going to be out for a while, as expected, because of her shoulder. She basically calls Bianca out, gives her flowers, says that, she's a great champion, yada, yada. And then as she goes to the back, they show her getting laid out by Bayley and her new faction. So she's getting beat up more with the chair, all that kind of stuff. So, and then Bianca goes running to the back to try to find them, save her, yada yada, whatever you want to do. So that's how we kicked it off. And then talking about a little bit of the Profits breaking up here a little, we got Seth Rollins in the ring, and the Street Profits come out and kind of tease a little one-on-one match, and Seth's kind of like, hey, there's only one of you guys. So Montez and Angelo say, all right, we'll do this rock, paper, scissors. So they go to do rock, paper, scissors. Winner gets to wrestle Seth Rollins. So they go to do rock. Montez pulls a fast one, grabs the ref, starts running towards the ring. They ring the bell. So we get Montez Ford and Seth Rollins. Like I said, I think they might be testing the waters here a little bit for the single competition for Ford. It was a long match, but I liked it. Thought it did a lot. Montez got to get his stuff in and kind of hulk up here, but obviously Seth ended up getting the win, which was pretty solid. And notice that the commentators were talking about Montez Ford bulking up lately. You know what I mean? They've been talking about it a lot. So some little tidbits of possibilities. But I'll say this: right before they did that match, Montez told Angelo, he said, all right, dog, this is the only time they're ever going to see us separated. You know what I mean? Or see us apart. So,
yeah.
Foreshadowing.
I like it. I thought this crowd sucked. This is one of the worst after Raw crowds. Like after a pay-per-view crowd, like, what are we even doing here? Like, they were sitting on their hands all night. Like, it was, like, by the way, Houston, wake up, people. Edge returns, lets everybody know that he is the rated R superstar, that he is back, and he basically vows to end Judgment Day. And then, interesting here, Ciampa beats AJ Styles with The Miz's help, of course, to be the number one contender to the U.S. title. So Bobby Lashley's got a new competitor challenger in Ciampa. So that might make for some decent matches. But and then main event, we got Mysterios and the Usos. The Judgment Day beats up Mysterios. Edge comes out. They brawl, yada, yada. Edge ends up spearing Dominic by accident instead of Finn. So that was how, Raw went off, man. Y'all got any notes from Raw?
Yeah, my absolute favorite moment of Raw was the triple threat with AJ, Mustafa, and The Miz. That ending where they did the 450 into the Styles Clash over Miz. That was so dope.
Sweet. It was.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
So this, I think, was the best episode of Raw that we've watched since we've started doing this show.
It was nice.
I was like, is this good? Is Raw good now? Because it was great. And
that's why I was saying that's what pissed me off about this crowd. I'm like,
I know.
Man, this is good.
I was like, this is really good. This is the first time
they
Raw's
were a
been
dead
good.
crowd. And I'm texting and all, but they were it's Houston.
Dead.
They were pretty dead.
That spot of Mustafa Ali into the Styles Club, that was perfectly timed and executed. It was amazing. I loved it.
Letting wrestlers go out there and wrestle.
Yeah, do things. And this was like, and they really did. Like, it's Triple H now, I think, being like, hey, go do your stuff and get over and put each other over. And that's what everyone did in this entire episode.
And that's another thing about this 3-hour Raw was the volume of wrestling. There was a lot more of it.
Yes, a lot less talky, more wrestly. And like Ciampa looked great over AJ Styles.
Oh yeah, and Ciampa's getting pushed to the moon now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And guess what? There was no fucking Austin Theory to be seen anywhere, and I was so grateful for that. Wait, you want to see my Theory face again?
That's it.
And I like Theory too.
I do not.
I think he needs a gimmick tweak or something, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. He looks the part. I mean,
he looks fantastic.
Yeah, man. He's Cena.
He looks like a child trying to sit at the adult table, and it's no.
Because he is a kid.
He is, but maybe wait until you move to the adult table,
right?
Because you don't fit in right now. You just
former Evolve champion. That's the shirt I got on today.
Theory was former Evolve champion.
Mm-hmm.
He was, yeah.
Weird.
All right, so let's get on to NXT here. A couple quick notes. Kaden and Katana win the NXT Women's Tag Team titles in a 4-way women's match. So they finally, playing the underdog role, finally get the win. Duke Hudson basically becoming the resident talent enhancer. Yeah, he lost to Axiom in a match.
He bullied him up backstage.
After he bullied him up there a little bit. Yeah, challenged to a match and lost. In a cool little spot here, Santos Pablo Escobar.
That's right.
He returns to help the Creed brothers retain their tag team titles versus the D'Angelo family. So it looks like we're going to get...
I've been waiting for him to return.
Yeah. So he's back, and the families will be taking on El Legado probably here pretty soon. But the main event, which I thought was entertaining, funny, and all kind of different things here. Von Wagner versus Solo Sikoa. Falls Count Anywhere. Solo wins after a splash from the ring post outside onto the announcer's table, but Falls Count Anywhere, so they're brawling everywhere. And the funniest thing, like I don't know why this caught me off all funny, but so there's one point where Vaughn throws Solo in the resident garbage can back there, and the garbage can's got a big fucking WWE logo on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it doesn't, people. I'm like,
oh yes,
that specific garbage can.
That specific garbage can, yeah. You can only throw wrestlers in that one. But
that's where they take out the NXT trash.
Yes, that cracked me up, man. But funny stuff. But that's all I got for NXT, man. So it wasn't a whole lot happening other than the women's tag titles and Braun and JD. Yeah, they kind of
contract signing,
mouth off each other. Contract.
He signed his contract in blood.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, boys, let's move on, man. There was a lot of WWE this past weekend. We had a lot going on there. Hey, but overall, solid weekend for WWE. You know,
Very promising.
Promising. Yeah, very good
encouraging.
word because, encouraging. You know, breath of fresh air. It's like everybody's kind of wanting to be engaged again since old Vinnie Mac's hit the streets.
It's amazing. It's amazing how much difference is already. You can already tell, and it's been a week.
It's going to be so. It's going to be so good for wrestling, man. It's going to be like an adrenaline shot. Like
I
it's
can't
it's going to be
wait.
great. All right, AJ, let's talk about AEW, man.
All right, I have very little with AEW. Couple of things. One, interim championship. John Moxley versus it's Roosh apparently, not Rush.
It is Roosh.
It is Roosh.
Yeah, I was mispronouncing his name. Which is fine. Moxley wins. Good match. Actually, it was a really good match.
I was gonna say I wrote here Roosh versus Mox was fantastic. Love it.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Roosh is awesome. After the match, Jericho comes out. Yeah. And Jericho then comes out and Moxley's like, yeah, sure, we can have a match, but I want Lionheart. I don't want any of your stupid fucking gimmicks. I want Lionheart, Chris Jericho, which if that was going to be a thing, which obviously Chris Jericho's old, he can't be the Chris Jericho of, 1997 anymore. But still, it adds something exciting to the event. And I just don't want to see same old Jericho, which I'm afraid he's going to win, but whatever. Then I want to talk about Ricky Starks first versus Danhausen, which he makes short work of Danhausen, which is fine. Mm-hmm. And then out comes Hook.
Yeah.
Send Hook.
And
send him.
So this was awesome for a few reasons. One, Ricky Starks has just been on fire lately. And I didn't expect this, but after it happened, I was kind of thinking back to what's been going on with him. And there were seeds of what they're about to do with Ricky Starks here. So Ricky Starks loses to Hook. And so he loses the FTW championship to Hook, which was great because, Taz invented that title how many years ago, and now Hook has it. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool. Cool moment
That's
for Taz.
one proud daddy.
Yeah,
know,
oh my God,
yeah.
it was great listening to Taz.
That's awesome, man. I loved it.
So there was that, and then, Ricky Starks shakes his hand, and he starts cutting just a straight, almost babyface promo. Well, it was a babyface promo.
Passionate promo,
yeah. And it was fantastic. His promo was great. And then Powerhouse Hobbs, of course, turns on him, kind of, and beating the shit out of him, which then kind of solidifies Ricky Starks' face turn.
Yep.
That I am super excited.
We said it last week on the pod.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've been wanting Ricky Starks to be able to do something.
And here it is. And I can't wait because I love Ricky Stark, but he's such a good heel. He's so awesome at being a heel. I think he's going to be a great face too, just because he's so passionate.
Sure.
So this segment was fucking awesome.
It was. I loved it.
So the only reason I want to mention the next segment is because Sky Blue was on there, and I love Sky Blue. It was Conti Martin's, Sammy Guevara, with Tay Conti and Sky Blue, which I love Sky Blue. So it was good to see her on Dynamite.
Do you love Sky Blue?
I love Sky Blue.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I absolutely love Sky Blue.
What about Sky Blue? You like her?
Yeah, her too.
Okay.
She's I love Sky Blue.
Okay.
Bang bang. So apart from that, I do not give a shit about what happened. And then we have a Jungle Boy promo, and Luchasaurus was there. I still don't understand it, so whatever.
Jungle Boy called Christian a pussy.
He did.
Sure did, yeah.
It was I understand why your wife left you and stuff like that. That was kind of good.
Sheesh, dude.
Getting dirty.
Jeez, I understand the dad jokes, but come on.
Right.
No, I'm just joking, America and everywhere else. Global audience.
So that's what I have for Dynamite. Do you guys have anything?
Yeah. Go ahead, DB.
All right. I was just going to say Daniel Garcia's pile driver on Daniel Bryan did not look very good. It was very close to being off, not not good at all. And I hate this stuff because I've never dropped the stigma from Daniel Bryan of his neck like Edge.
Yeah.
I always think like, man, like, please don't do that one move that's going to just hurt you forever. So when I see him taking spots like this, I'm like, man, just makes me nervous. But I saw Garcia winning this match, which he probably should, but like that was a little scary for me. But that was all I had, Primo.
One thing was I was super excited for Hook, but also I want to talk about Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is still in my top 5.
Mine too. Always will.
But and I am really excited that he has had so many adaptations of Chris Jericho at this point that he could reach into his bag and be like, I'm going to pull out this Jericho next week.
Sure.
And he'll knock it out of the park too.
To me, that's amazing.
Yeah. That's why he's top 5 of all time.
Yeah.
Right.
Seth's getting there too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. That's a good comparison, actually. But yeah, the Daniel Bryan Danielson match was like, it was fine. And I think they're going to start a storyline with Bryan Danielson, like being like, oh, I'm not 100%. Can I recover fully? Blah, blah, blah. Which is cool. I'll watch it. I like it. So then we move on to Rampage.
Worcester, Massachusetts.
Worcester.
They gave old Claudio a nice ovation here. I loved him.
Claudio is just over and over and over. He picks up the win against what's his name? You know that guy.
Yep.
Fuck, why am I drawing a blank? I'm looking. Oh, Jake Hager. So the rest of this,
We the people.
The people.
So the rest of Rampage didn't give a shit about.
Yeah,
like
not a whole lot happening.
No, there's a triple. Oh, they introduced the
trios.
The trios tag titles, which I don't think are necessary, but
me neither. They're never necessary.
What's funny is I've been asking for them for so long, but since then they've added like 15 titles. So
right,
yeah, it's overkill at this point.
But I did like the awkward segment in the back between the Bucks and Hangman.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny too.
Yeah, it was
like they were like, "Hey man, like been meaning to talk to you, bro." And
right, yeah.
Like they were about to reunite, and then fucking Dark Order came in, you know.
Yeah, I'm excited for Gun Club and Acclaim next week. Let's see what they're gonna do.
Listen,
yo. It's gonna be so funny when AJ's got to see Max Caster here in just a couple weeks.
which I talk all this shit now, but when I actually get to see him, I'm really like, oh, he's Max Caster. He's on
AJ's gonna do a fan picture with him.
Actually, when he says, yo, I'm absolutely gonna.
You can 100%. Scissor me, Max.
Yes. Yeah.
Straight finning.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I have for Rampage. I had very little about it.
All right. That's it. Primo, let's move on to your side, man. Let's see what happened in Impact and NWA.
Bang, bang!
All right, so we get down to it, baby. Impact. So Bhupinder Gunjar tried to challenge Brian Myers once again for the Impact Digital Media Championship again. I said again twice there.
You did.
Crazy Steve, though, informed Myers that Black Taurus is getting that next title match. Which, by the way, that's going to be next week. So next week, Black Taurus is getting a shot at that Digital Media Championship.
Yeah, because Black Taurus looks like a Digital Media champion, don't he?
No, but, after... I will say this. After watching my favorite match of the Ric Flair's last match card...
was Taurus's match, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And I've been watching him on Impact, but he made a bigger fan out of me from that match. He's a great base for luchadors.
I'll talk. Yeah. I'll talk more about it next week. But I've watched that whole card. All I gotta do is watch Flair's match. I haven't watched it yet.
Or don't watch Flair's
match. Yeah. I'm sure I don't need to, but
no.
Oh man, just remember Flair how you want to remember him.
Yes, yeah. Just
so anyway, get moving on. Honor No More confronted Scott D'Amore about there being a conspiracy against them. Later on, though, D'Amore found Honor No More messing with the production truck. He announced that they lose to Bullet Club at Emergence. They will have to disband.
Ooh. Interesting.
But I thought that Impact Wrestling didn't have any
sanctioning body.
Any
right?
exactly over I don't know what. Yeah.
Wrestling.
Oh man, they must have signed a contract at some point we didn't know about.
Right.
Finally, in the main event, we had Kushida, DB's favorite wrestler, making his Impact debut and defeated Rich Swann.
I'm like, man, he's in the main event already. Like, come on.
Debut in Impact main event and defeat Rich Swann.
Yep.
Who's an Impact mainstay at this point.
Yep. Oh well.
So
can't win.
Move on to NWA Power, and it's like I'm talking about Honor No More again, except this time they're just OGK. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett opened the show at the podium talking about their goals to win the tag titles.
Yep.
However, ends up with them getting in a brawl with. I feel like I said the same thing last week. They get in a brawl with Law Rebellion and Bestia 666. Shows up and Miss OGK leaving La Rebellion. I really wanted to do the French Tickler.
French Tickler!
So I got excited and my voice cracked. It left him standing tall.
I think that's right. I just snorted when I
tried to do the French Tickler.
So
that's a shoot.
Zion.
That's a shoot. Oh
fuck. So Zion defeated Rodney Mack to become the new #1 contender for the NWA National Championship. This is currently held by Jack Stain.
Yeah, I watched this, man. Rodney Mack's in shape, dude.
Yeah.
That dude is solid. Yeah,
he's a big dude too.
It's crazy, man. He's like he's like a resurgence, like
right.
Yeah.
Hey, don't sleep on him.
Yeah,
or with him. But main event. Main event. Tyrus defeated Odinson to retain that NWA World Television Championship.
Nice.
Yep. So Tyrus is gonna be like the longest reigning television champion ever.
He is, man. Yeah, he's up there like Arn Anderson status now.
Right.
Tully Blanchard.
So, that is NWA and Impact Wrestling.
Thank you, boys. That's it for the recap. Let's move on, man. It's time for that dropkick discussion of the week. Let's do it.
Hey guys, this is Mr. Havens, the Argyle assassin himself, giving them all the shivers.
This is the one and only Mike Hartenbauer.
This is Space Jesus Billy Starks.
This is referee Dan Perch.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw. You can address me as yours rudely. And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
You guys are listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
You're listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
Come celebrate pro wrestling right here on the Sit Down Marks podcast.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With Primo, DB, and AJ.
And you're listening to DB, Primo, AJ here on the Sit Down Marks podcast, the best podcast for professional wrestling.
All right, brand new month, brand new dropkick discussion of the week. It is time for AJ to bring us his favorite intercontinental matches of all the times. And this time we're going to be talking about, to kick it off, Bret Hart versus Roddy Piper, who was the current Intercontinental Champion going into this match for WrestleMania 8. AJ, tell us why this match.
So, I love Roddy Piper, who's upside down. There he is. I love Bret Hart. There he is. And they're both working as faces in this, and I love both of these guys. And yeah, there's history between them because they both were in Stu Hart's dungeon up in Canada. So there's a lot of history in this match. And so when I was thinking about IC matches to go through, this one immediately came to mind.
Yeah, man, this is a classic. I totally enjoyed this one. I'm gonna love talking about this one, man. But yeah, this was definitely a classic. These guys, they pros, man. No, they know how to work. They know how to tell a story. They started the story in the pre-match, which you heard at the top of the pod, the little face-to-face that they had with, before they went out. So, so just great work here. AJ, let's talk about it, man. Take us through it.
So speaking of that promo that we heard at the beginning, it was face-to-face, which they never did.
Right.
Like, they never did face-to-face promos. And I love it. Like, Bret Hart's a bad promo. He always has been. He bounces and he's like, I don't want to talk, but they make him talk anyways.
Sure.
And the fact that Roddy Piper basically just calls him a little kid and is like, you're a little shit stain and I don't care about you, but I love your parents. So I like the history that they were establishing.
Like kind of tapping him on the head if he.
Like ruffling his hair and then giving him a wedgie. He's like your older cousin. Like this picks on you.
That's
your entire
a really
life.
good description.
So, kickoff to the match. The entrances, they both get huge ovations. And by the way, this is I should mention this is WrestleMania 8, April 5th, 1992.
Yep.
This is in the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis. Attendance was, how much was the attendance? 62,167. Also on this show are a bunch of other bullshit things. It's a really bad WrestleMania. Don't watch it.
One of the
yeah.
This might be the only reason to watch this one.
It is. The main event is one of the worst main events in WrestleMania history. Anyways, so when they kick off the match, they both get into the ring, and obviously, like right from the start, one of them has to kind of be de facto heel since they're both faces, and that's going to be Roddy Piper. So they start with a stare down, and on commentary, it's Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan, and Bobby Heenan says, have they ever even met in the ring before? After going over how they grew up wrestling each other and have known each other since childhood. So I'm like, okay, Bobby Heenan's going to be on point tonight.
Yeah.
And then also, and he was great. Definitely. And then he also says, when they were staring each other down, Bobby Heenan goes, oh, it's just two ugly people looking at each other. It's a great line. So they have the stare down, and then the match starts slow. They have arm drags and such, and again, Bret Hart is the default face, Piper is the default heel. And that's solidified when Piper spits at Bret Hart, like solidifying him as the heel in the match, which is great. They talk about how it's for the Intercontinental title, and again, Heenan being Heenan goes, I remember when I was champion, and Gorilla Monsoon's like, what were you ever champion of? And Heenan goes, the neighborhood. It's like, what the fuck does that even mean? I love it.
He's street champ.
He's of the neighborhood. So up next we have a test of strength, and it turns into like an arm bar, and Piper is like whipping Bret around the ring, but Bret keeps holding on, and he like slaps the shit out of him, and Bret still holds on to the arm bar and eventually takes Piper down. Then we have a small package by Hart for 2. Monsoon says he probably dislocated his clavicle, which you can't dislocate because this is here. You can't dislocate. You can break it, but you can't dislocate it. Yeah, you can't dislocate it.
It's not a joint anywhere.
There was an awkward like splash to the outside where they kind of like Bret Hart goes for like a crossbody and Piper catches them, and they kind of like awkwardly miss flipping over the ring at first, and then they just like do it again and get tied up in the ring and very gently go to the outside. But then when they get back in, I thought it was a great touch by Roddy Piper. He holds the ropes for Bret. Like he sits on the ropes and like holds them open, and Bret's like, all right, dick. And then he like gets back in the ring. At one
psychology is so good.
I know, it's the storytelling. It was great. So after he helps him back in the ring, Piper sucker punches Bret, and then more punches, and then gives Bret a bulldog. Then he bites him and slaps him, and then he knee strikes him right in the face. And at some point, Bret Hart just starts bleeding. I looked for a blade job and I couldn't find it. Like I went back a couple of times, like I couldn't see it. So it's well done. So this goes on for a while, and then Bret Hart starts to make his comeback with a sunset flip, which only gets a 2, and then there's a double clothesline. And then Piper's the first to get up, and then he goes to the top rope, but Bret kind of catches him and like pulls him out and just basically is just like bleh, and throws his face into the mat. And then that starts Bret's comeback. We have some Bret signature spots. We have atomic drop. We have the German suplex. We have a neck breaker. We have a back breaker. And then he goes for the sharpshooter. And Piper, this again plays into the storyline since they grew up wrestling each other. He blocks it. He blocks it twice. And at this point, the crowd is 50-50 behind each guy. What do you guys have so far?
What are we up to here?
We're up to after he blocks the.
Just go ahead and finish. Then we'll go back and talk about it. Yep.
Okay, so after that, they punch back and forth. Again, the crowd is 50-50 behind each guy. Then we have the good old ref bump, because of course there has to be a ref bump.
Got to, yep.
So at this point, Piper thinks about using the ring bell. He thinks about cheating. He grabs the ring bell, and he's hovering over, a prone Bret who's on his knees and just looking up and,
yeah.
So
should I?
And then he eventually, and this is in 92 or 91 as well. So he eventually, Piper throws the ring bell away and puts Bret Hart in a sleeper. And Bret Hart runs towards the turnbuckle and does this, jumps off the turnbuckle and basically rolls up Piper for the 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And Bret Hart gets the win and is the new Intercontinental Champion.
Go ahead, Primo.
So, I wrote Piper's promo before the match had me laughing pretty hard. He's making them bologna sandwiches. Well, it was only one slice of bologna. But and then also the move with the belt, where Piper had the belt around his hand. He's because Bret thought he had him, but when Piper turned back around, he had a belt on his hand. That was all pre-match, but that was pretty slick. I don't like much about Bret Hart ever, but the white on pink that Bret has on was pretty nice. I like that. First of all, I don't remember if it was Gorilla or Brain, but one of them said no one likes bagpipe music that stinks.
That was Heyman.
First of all, bagpipe music does not stink. And I said, what a haircut on the ref.
Oh, yeah. It was like the Lloyd Christmas.
Yeah,
there it is. Yeah. Look at his mustache, too.
So getting to the match, I said, I got to the part. I like the part where Piper can't seem to get Bret to let go of his arm. Bret's boots really bothered me in this match because they aren't matching the shade of pink.
It's a little off.
Yeah. I like how Bret played possum the second time whenever Piper was on the top rope. Then he grabbed Piper from the hair and just slammed his face into the mat. And then I said, damn, ref, you didn't see them clearly aiming right at you whenever they got thrown into him. And then at the end, I said, oh, man, if only Piper would have just hit him with that ring bell, he would have won.
Right. All right, so for me, the pre-match face-to-face, I thought was hilarious and great at the same time. It really put some story onto this match. The champ came out last, as he should, but Piper kind of beelined out because he was pissed from the way Bret had kind of treated him in the little face-off there. Gorilla Monsoon mentions that in this particular time, 1992, this was the only gold that Piper had ever had in WWF at the time.
Yeah.
So this was the only title he had. And next I put that I thought Monsoon and Heenan's banter was great, and the match has barely started. It was funny. It was but they had a great way of bantering back and forth, kind of like when that you really need to, like when the wrestlers are getting settled in, they're taking off their robes, kind of like what you would call kind of downtime in the wrestling match. You know what I mean? Like nothing going on. So they had a great knack of doing that. Getting to the match though, Piper's in great shape. Piper's tactics I thought were great early. Then Bret kind of coming in and pulling tricks, even though both these guys were working face. But this match changed after the spit and the slap. It seems like they got a little more rough and a little more stiff, or they was kind of like, okay, or maybe this was planned. Hell, I don't know. Let's pick it up, after I spit in your face, But it got physical. I love small little storyline parts of the match, especially when Roddy was blocking the foot of Bret as he was attempting to put on the sharpshooter. He was like grabbing his foot, like when he was trying to put it over, and so I kind of thought that was kind of cool. And then I wrote, no, not a ref bump, like sarcastically. And then Roddy not using the bell, and then the sleeper leading to Bret pinning Piper. By the way, they fell down from the kick off the turnbuckle. Was kind of an interesting way to finish the match. Although, when you're coming out of it, it doesn't really hurt, either one of them, But you had two kick-ass, hard-nosed guys putting on a great match that started even, back and forth. It crescendoed to both these guys doing dirty tricks. And a great pin that looking at the match, you're kind of like, but in the storyline of things, this didn't end up not hurting Piper at all, in the way that he lost. I fucking love this match, man. It was great.
So post match, I wanted to mention before we smelly mark it, it was like a passing of the torch, like a literal, like Piper grabs the IC belt. And at first, everyone thinks he's going to be a dick about it. But then first he places it on Bret's shoulder. Like when Bret's on the ground, he puts it on his shoulder. And then he helps him up. And then he helps put the belt on Bret, which again is like something that it's like when, again, your older cousin, if you don't know how to tie a tie and your dad's not around, he'll tie the tie for you and be like, there you go. So it was great. He returns to they're both mega over baby faces at the end of this match, and they have the show of respect, they hug, and sure. And it closes out the whole storyline. So
the the little guy patting him on top of the head, and then and then he's crowning him with the belt, the best IC belt, by the way.
It's still still the best,
still is. All right, boys, we have watched it, we've just reviewed it. Now it's time to smelly mark it. Primo, let's go first, man. What you got?
I had never seen this match before.
Okay, good.
And I am not the biggest Bret Hart fan. Right. However, after this match, I love Piper though. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go. It's a good 7.5 for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Of everything I just said, I loved it. Two iconic wrestlers. 1992, I was 17 years old. So, WrestleMania, I remember watching this live, I may have watched it a few times since then, but I haven't watched it in a really, really long time. But I always loved this match. They, just great stuff, man. Just fucking two professionals doing fucking wrestling the way it should be done. I don't think it's 8.5 for me, but it's definitely not an 8. So I'm going to break the rules here and change the scale. I'm going to go 8.3.
8.3.
Yeah, 8.3. Yeah. So, but I love this though, man. I like this stuff because I haven't watched the Bret Hart match in a while. I appreciate him again. Roddy Piper, haven't watched in a while. Kind of appreciate, you know what I mean? So yeah, this was good stuff, man. Good pick, AJ. What's your rating?
So, I love this match. Obviously, this is the first one that popped into my mind. I love the passing of the torch. Like you said, two hard-nosed guys. Bret is one of the best tacticians of all time. Roddy is one of the best characters of all time. And just a stellar performance from two of my all-time favorites. So I give this match an 8. I will go all the way to 8.5. I love it. This is one of those matches that I'll return to and watch. And it holds up for me. Every bit as much as when the first time I saw it. And I appreciate Heenan and Monsoon more. Like the more I watch it, the more I appreciate them. Because normally I'm not a big Gorilla Monsoon fan, but when he has Heenan there to play off of him, it's great. That's why one of the reasons why Jesse Ventura was so great is because he had Monsoon there to play off of him.
Yeah.
So, I love this match. I love it so much. And it's the only match worth watching on the entire pay-per-view. So yeah, and it was a hot crowd for both guys. They loved everything. So yeah, 8.5. Love this match.
All right, so next week we're going to have the Dreamwave episode, so we won't be reviewing any matches. But the week after that, sorry, Primo, we're going to have to watch one more Bret Hart match as he's going to be taking on the British Bulldog from the very same year, right after WrestleMania that year, They wrestled at SummerSlam 1992, so that's going to be the next match we're going to be bringing up in the Dropkick
Maybe
discussion.
if AJ force feeds him to me enough, I'll end up liking him.
Right.
I might have to force feed you a lot before you.
All right.
He's so shitty at promos, but I love him so much.
All right, AJ, I'm about to force feed you this L, boy. About to take this thing. Last man standing. Let's go. Hit that game show music.
All right, boys. You are now in the arena for Last Man Standing. It is your host, Primo. There you go, with the hands crossed. Arms where I can see them. See them, that is. Baby. So, I got to choose the category this week since DB is going to try to dethrone AJ.
All right.
The undefeated and brand new 2-time Kurt Angle champion.
That's right. He's on a streak. He is on a streak.
Well,
here's your chance, DB. So, there have been, since the year, this is very important, since the year 2000 till now, so from the beginning of the new millennium until now, there have been 33 different individual WWE champions.
Woo.
Not world heavy. Now I'm not counting world heavyweight champions or universal champions.
Okay.
WWE championship reigns. 33 different individuals. So, since the year 2000, AJ, your choice as the defending champ. Who goes first?
Go ahead. You know, the champ comes out last, so...
Right, yeah, he does.
Go ahead, DB.
All right, I'm going first?
Yep.
Yeah.
John Cena.
You turd.
Easy. Very easy.
Triple
H. John Cena, 13 reigns.
Triple H.
Triple H with 9 reigns.
John Bradshaw Layfield.
Woo, that's a good... I didn't think I'll get that one. That's 1 reign.
Rob Van Dam.
Ooh, another 1 reigner.
Eddie Guerrero.
Another 1 reigner.
Alberto Del Rio.
A 2-timer.
Ooh. Edge.
Edge, a 4-timer.
It's Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. He is also a 4-timer.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar is a 7-time WWE champ.
Sheamus.
Sheamus is a 3-time.
CM Punk.
CM Punk is a 2-timer.
Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose is a 1-timer.
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins is a, sadly, 2-timer.
Yeah.
How is he only a 2-time champion?
I know.
That's disgusting.
You don't count as Universal Champion.
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan is a 4-time WWE champ.
The phenomenal one, AJ Styles.
A 2-timer himself.
Kofi Kingston.
Ooh, love it. That is a 1-timer.
Bobby Lashley.
Correct, 2-timer.
Big E.
1-timer. Getting the weeds now.
Kofi Kingston. Kofi.
Kofi would be...
Is that Universal?
I just said him like
he said it like 1
did
minute
you?
ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
I just
he did.
Oh,
man.
come on.
He did just say him too.
You know what? I was probably thinking while he was talking. I was probably thinking, golly.
He literally just said it.
How many did we get?
You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 out of 33. The ones you did not say were...
Jeff Hardy.
Yes, that would have been 1. No, he was a heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
Batista.
Batista.
Big Show.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton, yeah.
Yep.
Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jericho.
I could have gone on for a long time.
Yeah, you would have beat me
Jericho.
because I would have got those next couple, but then I would have probably spaced out.
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre.
Drew.
Hulk Hogan.
Oh gosh.
Sadly, yeah.
Since 2000. Yep.
Jinder Mahal. Don't hinder Jinder.
Don't hinder the
Kurt
Jinder.
Angle, Rey Mysterio, Stone Cold, The Rock, The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
I said 2000.
I had all of those in the chamber.
In the back pocket. And finally, the last one you didn't get was The Miz.
Nice.
The Miz, I might have forgotten.
Congratulations,
good job,
AJ.
boys.
You will
AJ,
stay last man standing champ.
I will say, that's the second time AJ's won because of user error. I did the same thing one time.
Yeah, you did.
I know. You're thinking while they're talking.
Yes. It's harder than it looks.
It is. That's why it makes it complicated.
I love it. Good job, boys.
Very nice, AJ. Good job, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
All right, it's time to move to the King of the Mountain. Let's go, Lemmy.
That is right.
Time to play the game.
Only thing I've been
Okay,
waiting on.
boys. Current King of the Mountain is Primo. His streak is up to 2. AJ and I fell back to 0, but last week we made a pick on the Rangers versus the Angels, which in our wrestling minds, that was the Mounties versus the Christopher Daniels. So AJ and myself went with the Christopher Daniels, and Primo, staying loyal to Texas, he went with the Texas Ranger Mounties. Did Primo stay at the top of the King of the Mountain? The final score was the Ranger Mounties 7, the Angels 2.
Dang.
Primo runs up the King of the Mountain to number 3, man. So that will bring your streak to 3.
Well done.
Right.
That's why they had me in the Gambler of the Week for so long.
That's right.
yeah, apparently.
All right, boys, moving on this weekend. We're going to be choosing from UFC going on this weekend, boys.
Shite.
The very first match of the card this weekend on the prelims, we have a UFC women's bantamweight match. Okay?
Okay.
No looking up anything. You got to pick strictly from the name here.
Okay, that's fine.
UFC women bantamweight matches. We got Myra Bueno Silva versus Stephanie Edgar. Okay. My wrestling mind goes to Bueno from Mena Bueno Silva means good, so that made me think of the Good Father. Okay. Stephanie Edgar, I mean, come on. Ham and Edgar, Bobby Heenan called everybody Ham and Eggers, right? So tonight we have Maya Bueno Silva, a.k.a. the Good Fathers, versus Stephanie Edgar, a.k.a. the Bobby Heenans. Both of these ladies are a very close record. Myra Bueno is 8-2. Stephanie Edgar is 7-2. Primo, you are the current King of the Mountain, trying to run it up to the streak of 4. You going with the Good Fathers or the Bobby Heenans?
I gotta say, I'm going with the Good Fathers here.
Primo's going with the Good Father.
That's the Bueno Silva, right?
Bueno Silva, yep. AJ, your pick?
You know, normally I hear the name Silva as far as UFC goes, and I'll immediately take it. However, I can't go against the Heenans, the Bobby Heenans. So, I mean, I think that the Silva is going to win, but nope, I'm going with the Bobby Heenans, the Ham and Eggers.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have nothing to even pick this match on. So, I mean, I'm just going to go with, you know, am I more of a Good Father guy? Am I more of a Bobby Heenan guy? I mean, I'm obviously more of a Bobby Heenan guy. So I'm going to take Edgar here but, you know, this hasn't worked out well for me and AJ picking together here so far. So Primo's probably doing really good by us not choosing with him. So.
I think that shows opening and closing with the Silva.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Because Tiago's in the main event.
That's right. Sure is.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the opening card. So we'll open the match of the UFC women's card. So we'll come back to that and next week and see if Primo can stay at the top of the mountain. AJ, it's time to close the show, brother. Let's go.
Hello. Every time.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw. You can address me as yours rudely. And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
Oh, every week it's AJ's first pod.
Every single week. I'll never get that. I'll do it every single week, too.
Okay, people out there in Markland. So when we close the show every week, There's always a sound bite right after that. So from now on, you can see how AJ botches this each week.
Every single time. I know it. Like, I know it every time. Fucking stupid idiot. Okay, Marks. Please listen to us, despite all of our botchiness. And by all of ours, I mean mine. We film every Wednesday right here on YouTube, generally around 6:45, 7 o'clock, somewhere around that area. Also, catch us throughout the week and right before the...
I had a drink in my mouth. Number one!
Thomas Bryce Show, 6:15 on Fridays, again throughout the week on Sports Wire Online Radio. Go check us out there. Also, we're available on every podcast platform, including all those ones that we don't need to mention because you know where you get your podcast. It's on all of them. Also, we have merch. And yeah, got to take off the glasses to put on the mask. Now put the glasses back on. We have merch at tpublic.com/stores/sit-down-marks. Again, that site is tpublic.com/stores/sit-down-marks. Go buy a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a baby clothes.
All that.
All that stuff. And by the way, any money we make off of the merch goes right back into the podcast. So if you want us to do better things for you, for your content pleasures, that was weird, buy a shirt. Support us. And we love you for it.
Yep, we got a brand new logo coming soon, too. That's going to be awesome. You have to get those on one of the shirts. Lucha Daddy, Primo. Give us that preview next week, man. I know we're
Sorry. AJ just lost it.
I know we're going to do something here a little different, man. What's going on next week?
You have your glasses up over the mask.
Go. All right. Come on in. Let Lucha Daddy talk to you real quick for the preview next week, baby. So next week we're doing something a little different. Just an extra special edition to familiarize fans who may or may not know about Dreamwave Wrestling, based out of LaSalle, Peru, Illinois. Did I say that correctly?
You did. Correct.
And to those very loyal in the fan base or are a fan of Dreamwave Wrestling, this pod will be for you. Dreamwave was a huge promotion in the independent wrestling scene for quite a while and decided to cease operations in 2016. Well, the owner, Jay Repsol, is ready to bring it back once again, and he will be on next week's pod to talk all about history, loyal fan base, and the resurrection of Dreamwave coming up on August 20th as Dreamwave Wrestling presents Summer Spectacular, and Jay will join us to talk about it. Also, we're going to replay two of our previous guest interviews, who are two of the guys that are heart and soul of Dreamwave Wrestling, none other than Hartenbauer and Christian Rose. Tune in. We had a lot of fun putting together this episode next week and can't wait to bring it to you. If you're in the area, August 20th, go to dreamwavewrestling.com and get some tickets. Thank you for letting us into your day. Plenty of pods to choose from. We appreciate you downloading and subscribing to ours. Lucha Daddy, out.
All right, a couple notes here, boys. It's SCI weekend. The City Invitational is going on this weekend. Our boy Daniel Makabe's back in it. Billy Starks is in it. Nice. Check that one out on IWTV this weekend, man. And also, it's another big weekend, man. Friend of the pod, Brian Battle for USC. He's fighting on the card this weekend. And so make sure you check that out on ESPN. Hopefully we'll get to talk to Brian here pretty soon. Keep spreading the good word of wrestling, people. You guys got anything before we go home?
I do. Actually. I was thinking about this earlier. Something we haven't asked in maybe 50 episodes.
All right.
Who's your favorite champ right now?
Very
nice. Oh my God, yeah, it's been a while.
I'll tell you mine real quick while you think of that.
Yeah.
If you notice on the past two episodes of Monday Night Raw, they've been trying to bring more prestige to the United States Championship, which I really appreciate them doing. Yeah. And for that, I gotta say, right now, my favorite champion is Bobby Lashley.
Okay,
good choice. I like that.
Yeah.
Claudio Castagnoli.
Ooh.
ROH.
They've added a lot of championships.
Yeah.
Since we did.
Like, so, yeah, that's mine. Absolutely.
Man, kind of feel like I might need a little more time for this, but I don't know. I mean, I'm going to say Samoa Joe.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen him a whole lot except in the pay-per-view, but I'm glad he's healthy. And him and Claudio and Wheeler, they just fit with those ROH titles. So good.
I'm also liking FTR too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's if you like wrestling, you don't like FTR. It's something crazy. So, yeah. All right, AJ, take us home, Daddy. Not Lucha Daddy, but Daddy.
There's no bull in this British Bulldog.
All right, so I walk out of this place that I had to do some work at today, and showing how much I think about wrestling. So I walk out, I got all my work things with me. I'm walking out, and I see a train going by. Right, what do you think people will think about when they see a train?
The Ho train.
No, I was thinking Midnight Express.
Fucking nerd.
But I should have thought Ho Train. That would have been funnier. But I was just kind of like, my brain.
You just looked so defeated. You went, no, the Midnight Express.
Because Ho Train sounded better. All right.
Oh, amazing.
Just tell me when.
Little bonus for all you sticking around out there.
All right, go ahead.
Peek behind the curtain.
Give it 5 seconds of silence and then go.
Okay. All right, welcome everybody. Episode number 76 of the Sit Down Marks podcast. We got something really extra special for you today. We're going to do something totally different here, and because as you've heard us talk about, Dreamwave Wrestling is coming back August the 20th, and we have partnered with them. We're going to do some work for them. We're going to be there sponsoring shows like we do. AJ and I, living in Illinois, couldn't be more excited about Dreamwave returning. It's just a special part of wrestling in this area and just in the Midwest scene in general. And we've had a lot of chance to talk to a lot of Dreamwave guys. AJ and I, we work for Iron Spirit Pro. Brubaker is our current champion. He is an old Dreamwave guy. CJ Esparza as well. And then we've talked to Christian Rose and Hartenbauer, but to really kind of dig down deep into Dreamwave and what they're about, why they're making a comeback, that kind of stuff, we had to go get Jay Repsol and talk to him. He is the owner, promoter, like you'll hear me say, he's a one-man operation of Dreamwave Wrestling. Super excited, man, to be able to talk to him, and he had some really cool, interesting stories, and it kind of explains it all as to why he decided to come back, and he got the itch again. It was super cool to talk to him, man. What'd you guys think about talking to Jay?
Yeah, I really thought that it was cool getting to know how he talked about his original promotion and how 10 years later it was the inception of the first iteration of Dreamwave, and now we're talking about the resurrection of. It was really cool just hearing all his different takes and his how his brain works with the business is pretty neat.
That was, man. And like I said, I'm super excited. We had a lot to talk about. So here is our interview with Dreamwave Wrestling owner and promoter Jay Repsol. Man, if you wasn't pumped before, you definitely got to be pumped now. Jay's excited. Talking to him just kind of gave me goosebumps, man. I'm so pumped for this show. And August 20th can't get here quick enough, AJ. This one, when we put this one on our calendar, man, we're like, this one's going to be one of the biggest shows of the summer, and we had to be a part of it. You told me you definitely wanted to make sure we did something with Dreamwave here because it's too big of a deal just to pass up.
Well, plus so a little bit of history. Well, one, this will be my first Dreamwave show, like ever. And then two, little fun story about Mr. Bird and I. So when we first got to know each other, we both found out that we were giant wrestling fans. Immediately, we're like, all right, we need to go to an indie show. That'd be great. And Dreamwave was where we were supposed to go to a show, but we could never, because both of us bartended on the same night. So it was a really pain in the fucking ass trying to get both of us off at the same time. I worded that poorly. Getting the time off work at the same time. So I'm super, super excited. One, because, again, first Dreamwave show. Two, because this is something that Dirty and I have been trying to do for, 10 years now? Mm-hmm. Trying to go to a Dreamwave show. So it's going to be great. I cannot wait. It's going to be so exciting.
Yeah, like you'll hear me talk to Jay about, the first time when I moved to Illinois, going to Dreamwave Wrestling shows. And, yeah, it's kind of like, that – it's almost like, for lack of a better term and feeling, I wouldn't call it like Christmas morning, but it's like that TV show that's coming back on that you used to just fucking love and watch all the time. You know what I mean? And just, really made time out of your day to watch. So, yeah, so that was really a really interesting interview there with Jay Repsol. Now we got a very special interview. We're going to bring you two guys who are, they are the heart and soul of Dreamwave Wrestling. We've just got to talk to Christian Rose, and a while back we got to talk to Mike Hartenbauer. And so, and these guys both talk about Dreamwave Wrestling here. So, and this was before we knew that Dreamwave was coming back. Well, with Christian, we knew it was coming back, so we got to talk about it, but the Hartenbauer interview was before. So, but yeah, check this one out here. If you hadn't heard this one already, this is one of the best interviews we've had. This guy's got more nicknames than anybody you'd ever know in independent wrestling, and he's just a fun guy to talk to. So, and he's going to talk a lot about Dreamwave Wrestling too. So here's our interview with Christian Rose. All right. Yeah. Just, man, it always cracks me up to talk to him, to hear him talk about the 4-way stop. Like, I just love Christian's, some of the, and, he shouted us out on Snapchat not long
ago.
Did.
He did.
About the 4-way stop issue. Yeah. Yeah. So that was great stuff, man. Awesome interview by Christian Rose. Like you said, you heard him say it. He said, Dreamwave is not Dreamwave without Christian Rose. So I'm excited to see, him and the guy coming up here in this next interview. Now, we talked to Hartenbauer a couple times, but this was our most recent interview with him that was still a while back here. He is still the current Zawa Live champion, and I know it would mean a whole lot to him if he could win this main event on August the 20th at Dreamwave Wrestling. And we talk about this here some, but, let's just go back and revisit here, man. If you don't know anything about Mike Hartenbauer, he is the heart and soul of LaSalle Wrestling, man. This guy is over in his hometown just like anybody would be, but multiplied to 100, man. So I'm excited to see that pop when he comes out. It's going to be a big day. But here you go. Get to know Hartenbauer. Man, I tell you what, man, there's a lot of guys that I like in this business, but, Hartenbauer is one of those guys, when me and AJ are going to shows and Hartenbauer is going to be there, he's like one of the guys, him and Bucky, and Havens, those guys are always the ones we're excited to see and talk to.
Every time.
And Hartenbauer, man, just doesn't get much better than him, man. No. He's such a good dude.
Like, I want to have beers with him. Like, I want to go out for beers with him, like at some point.
What,
he's fucking
spears
awesome.
And beers?
I don't want to get speared by him because that would hurt a lot. But beers, yeah, I would like to.
He's still going to teach you how to bump one these days.
He is, yeah. He's going to teach me how to bump.
I mean, we were reminded that he likes ranch with eggs.
Yes,
that's true.
He does like ranch with eggs.
That's kind of how the old sauce on the eggs conversation kind of started with the Billy Gunn, Billy Gunn thing really there. Is. So, Yeah, so all right, so there you go. 3 interviews. If you're not familiar with Dreamwave Wrestling, you are now in the La Salle, Peru area, August the 20th. Lula Grottos, it's going down, man. Make sure you guys get some tickets. And we want to thank Jay and obviously Christian and Hart Bauer, for being on the show. And and just couldn't be more excited about Dreamwave Wrestling's return. But once again, Summer Spectacular. It's a 3:00 Saturday daytime show. You heard Jay talk about they're going to be announcing a post party there at Lou's right after that. So it's going to be a good time, man. Bring the family, bring the friends. I mean, it's going to be a big return, and I can't wait to see how this card all shakes out. All right, Primo. It's time to close the show, baby. Take us home.
This is Christian Rose, Old Evil, That Damn Coyote, Moonshine, Illinois' favorite son, The Truth, The Bitter Lunatic, a man with so many nicknames even I can't remember them all, proudly representing those damn Coyotes, King in the Valley, and you are listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
All right, so Lucha Daddy's not here this week, at the week off, but Primo's back.
Hey,
the preview
Primo.
of the final Dreamwave card next week. Also, we're going to get back to AJ's favorite IC title matches with a pick from SummerSlam 92 with Bret Hart versus the British Bulldog. I will also be taking the boys back to Primo's music class, and of course, we will bring you the weekly reactions from around the world of professional wrestling.
All right, good stuff, man. Keep spreading the good word of wrestling. Thank you to everybody in Dreamwave Wrestling for helping us put this pod together here, and hopefully this makes you more excited about the big show coming up. We're on the next though. Next week's going to be another good pod, man. Can't wait for it. AJ, you know what to do, kid. Take us home.
Shit, I didn't have any.
I bet you if AJ got a couple beers in him around Hart and Bauer, I bet a chop would happen.
Oh, ooh, fuck yeah. I have no sense of personal safety or preservation. Fuck yeah.
Chop this man. Chop this man.
Absolutely.